welcome. How are
What's
you,
up,
pal?
guys?
Comment ça va?
Come on, Lorenzi. Come on, like a good old Monday. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Today's Monday, Marketing Monday, episode 48 already. Strategy Vault podcast. Thanks for
Can't
joining
believe
us,
it's already
guys.
episode
It's
48, bro.
it's crazy. Well, I could believe it actually. We're throwing out content every single day, so it
I
makes a
told my
lot of
cousin
sense.
I was with my cousin a little earlier. I was with him on a Zoom call, and he was looking at our first lives when we first started in August, and I told him 46 or 47 episodes. Was like, what? How?
Crazy.
Time flies, man. Time flies when you have fun. Let's
That's
be
true,
real.
bro. It's only been a few months since we started this in like mid-July, and we're already episode 48. So I'm happy, man. I'm learning a lot along the
Mid
way, and
August. Mid
I hope you are
August.
too.
I am
Mid-August, yeah.
fired up.
So it's
Yeah,
it's
it's
crazy.
been like 3 months now. Yeah.
It's amazing, man. I know I have a new background there. I don't know if you guys can see it.
I love it.
I
Amazing.
need to like position myself on the side so like it kind of seems like I'm sitting down here. I don't know if you can still hear me like this. I should cut the screen and give you the other half. It would be sick. It's like both of us are sitting down on a seat. It's mental. Let's see who's there. Let's see who's joining me.
So today we're gonna be talking about chapter 8 of this amazing book from Terry O'Reilly, Marketing Lessons from Under the Influence, as we do on every Monday since the beginning of this podcast. Chapter 8 is called Purple Chicken: The Joy of Counterintuitive Thinking. And super interesting chapter, man. Like, I had so much fun reading that one. I took down a lot of notes. I hope we're gonna have time to go through all of them. But the first part of that chapter, he's counting us a story about African farmers. I think it was in Kenya or in one of the African countries, and he was talking about those farmers who were raising chickens and chicks, and at some point they had a lot of problems uh, keeping the chicks, just getting the chicks to survive, because ox and eagles were eating the smaller chicks. The older chicks were getting smarter, and they knew that when they were seeing like a shadow, they knew they had to cover they needed to cover up. But the smaller chicks were always getting eat by the ox and eagles. So they came up with a very counterintuitive idea to keep their chicks alive. They painted the chicken in purple. And the reason why they painted the chicken purple is because the ox and eagle don't see the color purple as food. So they basically don't see that they don't see that color.
I think it's blue, if I'm not mistaken.
Well,
Is it blue?
human beings are not seeing. Well, there's not a lot of food in the food chain that is blue, if you really think
Mhm.
about it. Even blueberries are purple.
Blueberries are purple. Yeah.
So the food chain, and they were also talking about that in the book. They were saying that uh, I think I'm gonna end this because my camera is lagging because of it. I'm just gonna stop it. But yeah, there's not a lot of blue food. So if you're on a diet, doctors will not prescribe you, but would recommend you to paint your kitchen in blue, because it would not remind you or tempt you into any food. But for birds and for especially for eagles and falcons, if you paint your chickens in purple, they won't see it as food. They could even land near the chicken and not see it, not be tempted to eat it, just because it's like their eyes would not see them. So the interesting part of this story is because is when it comes to the fixing that problem brought some kind of other good problem. The farmers, the were able to keep 80% of the small chicks alive, which they were not. Before that, they were not used to have that many chicks in the pen. So they had so many chicks to feed. They were not used to buy chicken feed to feed them. They were able to just get some waste or find waste to feed the chicken. Now they have to find chicken feed. So it brought up another problem that they had to fix. With that they came up to, actually they came up with another counterintuitive idea to fix. They ask other tribes or other villages in the area, like, what do you do to feed your chickens? And there was another there was another village far away that had to deal with that problem, and they told them, they said, when you use waste crop, damp waste crop, and you put it on the soil, termites will come out of the soil to go get that. They will be attracted by the waste crop, so you won't have to find and look for the termites. They're just gonna come to you. So they tried that. They used waste scraps, put it on the soil, and then they had free chicken feed for everyone. So they fixed a problem with no money, almost no money,
And they solved another problem.
They solved for the community, the entire community, a bunch of problems with very counterintuitive ideas, like paint. Like who would like, if you ask me to paint my chicken purple, I would say, what? You're gonna paint my chicken.
It's
what?
the egg, though. It's the egg that they painted.
No. It's the chicken.
The chicken. They painted.
No. It's the whole
purple.
chicken. They were painting the whole chicken purple, and
Whoa.
even they were saying in the books, it created a whole category of it created a new job in the village.
Wow.
Chicken painters.
I saw.
It created a whole economy.
I saw a documentary one time about a farmer that had an issue with pests that were eating up all the crops, and they kind of did something similar to what you're saying with like they solved two problems at once. Like they had a bunch of chickens, or was it chickens or ducks that they had in the farm, and they put all the chickens and the ducks in the place where all the crops were being eaten, and the chicken would go or the ducks would go and just eat up all the pests. So like natural solution plus like, so you're solving the problem of getting rid of the pests, and you're also feeding your animals. Like, that's amazing. And I love how that ties into to marketing, because it's all about being like thinking outside the box, I would say, and finding solutions by thinking outside the box. And we were talking about this earlier. You made a good point before about when we were having this discussion about thinking outside the box. And what was that thing you said before? It's at the tip of my tongue.
I can't remember, honestly. Like we said so many things, but we're fixing two problems. Like we're fixing. I don't know if you were mentioning the fact that we're actually fixing two problems. Killing two birds with one stone by doing that, because those solutions that might look dumb at the beginning or look not like the other solutions that you're used to, might be able to like fix two problems.
Comment ça va, Ching? Yeah, Chingy. Oh, hey, Ching! Comment ça va, bro? Yo, t'es encore là, Ching? If you're still there, can you go on our... Because Felix can't see your comments. For some reason, we can't put your comments on our main page. Bro, can you go to our YouTube channel and watch us and comment on our YouTube channel and subscribe?
So that way, I'm gonna be able to see your comments, Ching. Ça fait longtemps. From the days of CPS.
I saw him the other day at the
boy.
gym, bro.
Yeah,
he's always at the gym, Ching. He's always at the gym, bro.
Come chill in the Discord sometimes.
This guy's such a vibe, bro. Every time I see this guy, bro, he has a smile from ear to ear, bro. From across the gym, bro. He's fucking smiling, bro.
Yeah,
puts a
yeah,
smile on
yes.
my face
Demande-toi,
every
bro.
single time he's
Viens
there.
parler avec nous. Viens parler avec nous sur le YouTube, Chingy. But hey, um, I can't remember what we were saying off record, Jord, but all I'm saying is counterintuitive ideas might have a huge impact on your bottom line.
Look, what I said before, how it related to marketing.
Yes.
I said that. Okay, yes, I said that. You're looking for a way to like promote without spending money. So kind of the example I gave about like you have a customer who's happy with your service, and you're just telling them like hey, if you're happy with our service, just tell somebody else. Like word of mouth is like a solution sort of thing to like getting more clients and also not spending money on it. So kind of the same, like the analogy you gave with this solving two problems at once. Hey, Ale, how are you? I'm in Florida right now.
We're gonna get to it. But the first, like, the beginning of the chapter, the story he's telling, and I feel like it's just to tell you that there's always going to be a solution that is right there where you sit. And you might have some people around you who are going to be telling you, hey, that's not how you do things. Professionals, they're not doing things like that. You shouldn't be doing that. But marketing is not about sameness and doing what other people are doing. And that's the trap where everybody's falling into that trap. The thing is, yeah, maybe locally people are not like doing ads or marketing that way, but elsewhere in other parts of the world, they need to like get known, they need to fix problems, they need to like, and they might not have all the solutions and all the comfort and all the yeah, if you're professional, you're using that tool and that software and that, and you're gonna go out there and just buy the same software, buy the same tool that all your competitors are buying and doing, like you're gonna do the exact same thing just because everybody's doing it. There's a trap in there. Like there has to be a trap. It has to be a trap. Like everybody cannot be just doing the same thing in the same way with the same tools. It's impossible, guys. Of course, there's always going to be like we're still going to be using like a hammer for hammering things, but like this is not the point. If we're talking marketing wise, you like there's no limit. There's no rules.
I have a question for you, Phil. It's a pretty interesting question that I have for you. At what point do you draw a line and you say like, okay, it's not about copying other people. It's about sometimes there's just certain things that work. There's certain things that are working, even though everybody else is doing, are employing these tactics or whatever. At what point do we draw a line and say like, okay, this is the best course of action. Let's just, even though everybody else is doing this particular way, is the whole point just trying to find one competitive advantage, one competitive, like unique advantage? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, do you look at your operation and say like, okay, we're too similar to other people in this way, operations, marketing, and do you try to just sit back and look for that one X factor?
I don't think I sit back and look at competition that in that way, because you could sit back for a very long time and not act upon anything. I think it comes as you go. So as you work on projects, you realize persistent problems, pain points that are coming back all the time. And I feel like it's at that point that's where you need to sit back and think like, hey, is there a counterintuitive solution that I could find either in my environment or in someone else neighborhood, like in someone else, like there has to be another way to fix that. And that's R&D, bro. Like that's research and development. Like that's when you really sit back. But if you keep asking your local distributor who has literally he's a sales guy. He's going to sell you the next available solution that he has on the rack. He's not going to sell you what he knows works, but he can't afford to sell you because he can't afford to buy it and get that thing on the shelf. He's going to sell you what he has. You can't just be out there asking for solutions for the guys you're just meeting on a daily basis while you're buying stuff at the, tu sais, pendant que tu es au magasin, tu demandes au gars, c'est quoi la meilleure solution pour mon problème? What's the best solution for my problem? You can't just be sitting there asking for people solutions to your problems. You're gonna have to sit down and really think, hey, there has to be some other way. But
at what point do you decide? Okay, but at what my question is like, when do you decide we need another way? When do you decide? Like, if something's, you know, the saying, if it's not broken, don't fix it, type of thing.
If it's persistent. If it's persistent, like I said, if it's persistent, and in time this problem is coming back. Let me give you an example.
So look, wait. Let me finish my point. So I want to just go back to the I want to just go back to the chick, the chick example.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I feel like if you asked me to tackle this problem, I would get some dogs, some animal, like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like the guy who thought about painting his chickens with his painting his chickens blue or purple means that he did research. Okay, what do hawks like? Not like, what color do hawks not like? So he broke down the problem. Like, okay, like the hawks are eating all my chickens. Let's break it down. So I don't know. I would thought, okay, like, let's get some dogs. Let's get a pack of dogs in here to protect the chickens. But maybe how are the dogs gonna? Exactly.
They were sleeping.
How are the dogs? The dogs are more to protect from like wolves and coyotes and foxes. But bird's just gonna come down and exactly gonna come swoop down and grab the chicken and bounce. So from the top, the eagle just seems like a blue blob. Like, ugh, what is that? Like, bro, it's like, it's crazy how this person was the first person to think about this. That means they researched it. That's how it just tells you how important it is to do your own research and not just piggyback ideas off other people. Like, the idea is so good that sometimes I just look at it like, damn it, why didn't I think of that?
I think we're also underestimating the it's a little bit off topic here, but I think we're underestimating the importance of cross using, like, the multiple things you're doing in life. If you're doing like bicycle, your hobbies, you're someone who likes fishing, you're someone like, they're not talking about that in the book, but I know, like, he is in, like, throughout the course of the book, he is talking about that. You should be using everything in your environment that you're good at, even your hobbies, and think about analogies. If you love, I have nothing to do with fishing, but I know it's a sport that demands a certain, like, patience, and, like, if you could use those analogies inside of your business and be able to cross-breed ideas inside, like, of your team, like, you need to create that sense of culture. We're gonna get to that. I just wanted to come back to, like, the first point, because I think it's important to go. I think it's Marketing Monday, right? So we're just gonna go back to marketing. If you're talking about really marketing ideas, it's always hard to get out of the pack. Like, if you're a car dealership, everybody's, like, pretty much, if you really think about it, car dealership, they're pretty much marketing themselves the same way,
right?
You know, it's a sea of same. It's always the same thing, you know, price and discounts and, like, you know.
Yeah, same thing with airlines. No, like, this is one that comes to mind, because the other day, the other day you were laughing at you know when you told
Ryanair.
me you're like, yeah, Ryanair, bro. These guys are bold with the. What did they say? Like there was a passenger who was getting off the plane, and it seemed like
Complaining about the stairs. She was
the
complaining
stair
about the stairs.
the stairs of the airplane were like, it looked like somebody made them like I don't know, it looked like it's like the type of stairs where you just stick on the stair, like it
Mhm.
looked cheap or whatever. And
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the passenger took a picture and tagged Ryanair, like
On
what did they say,
X.
like
They said, oh, it's okay, Ryanair. Next time I'll bring my own stairs. And Ryanair answered, all right, no problem. Next time, bring your own plane.
bring your
Yeah,
own airplane.
bring your own airplane. Yeah, that was very funny. It's savage, bro. Like, but these companies, they know they know their customers. Ryanair is a very cheap flight. You could fly with Ryanair anywhere in Europe for what,
They don't
50,
get, it's like
50
they have
euros.
like they have that strategy, like they just don't give a fuck. They just like they're like, yeah, we're the cheapest airline, we're in our own category, like what are you gonna do about it? Like, but they call people out. They call people out
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
They
It's
call people
but it's
out, and
funny, bro. They had
it
so
is
many like
funny. It is funny.
it is
There's
super
a few
funny.
companies that I've seen do that. They just call out people and they say like funny things, you know, funny, bold like
Yeah,
things that some people might get insulted, but it's funny. It works, I'm sure. You know, it separates them. Like
the
the
thing
fucking
about these ideas, I feel like I don't know if you think this. Sorry, I cut you off again. I'll improve.
no, I was just gonna say
Sorry,
like the like no, it's all good. Like the was it the Bud Light commercial with the whistle?
oh yeah, 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 yeah. Oh wait, ça c'est
Like just
intéressant.
another way that
Was it in Vermont or Maine? I don't know. In the book, they were talking about this example of this campaign of this small beer company that were trying to like kick off and start a new beer, and they hired an agency and they went with first they had a small budget. They didn't have a big budget. They wanted to kick off things hard, very hard in a way that was gonna use the money like in the most efficient way, which is what we're all trying to do as bootstrappers, right? If you're trying to bootstrap things, you're trying to use your $1,000, $2,000, $10,000 as efficient as possible. If you blow your message in the mass with a message that is so like diluted and used already by so many other companies, it's just wasted money. You're just gonna waste it.
right.
No matter how much you're spending, $10,000, $100,000. If the message, like we see those ads all the time, bro, they're just polluting our space. But nice ads that pick up, like really pick up your attention and actually like really get you to the store and really get you to this to discover a nice product, and you buy the product, you get a nice experience, you're happy to spend that money. Everybody's happy, everybody's happy. Like that's what the marketplace, like we need more of that on the marketplace. We need more people who know how to expand and like translate their good product into good message and good marketing strategies. So this story, I don't know if you remember well, George, if you want to explain to us the story of that small beer company that wanted
Yeah,
to like.
they were just trying to do something different, and the agency gave the gave like one of their ideas of a commercial that they whistle. Was it like around the holidays? Like they whistled "Merry Christmas" or something, not even showing what their brand is. Just like the
So
whole
for
point of the
the
commercial was
first two
just like
weeks, they were saying, because it was a commercial that was really branded for the locals, not the tourists.
mhm,
They were really trying to brand for it. It was a very touristic area, and most commercials were branded towards tourists. That brand wanted to target their local
locals.
people. So they actually targeted for these people for 2 weeks, saying the name of the brand. But the bold thing was to not use anymore any like name. Like they were not naming anything. for the rest of the ad campaign. So for the next I think it was 4 weeks or 6 weeks. So they used most of the budget. Most of the budget went toward a campaign that was not even mentioning the brand's name, which was the bold part about the story.
Mm-hmm. And then they're like, "What do you mean? We're not gonna put it like who does that? Who doesn't put their brand in the ad?" And then after, so they ran the ad they ran the ad a few weeks, and then like weeks went by, and they got no messages, no the ad didn't pick up. And then it was that he was at the gas station, and he heard somebody whistling the commercial, whatever it was.
Yeah, the delivery truck went out at the gas station. It started picking up. Like people were starting to pick up, and it went crazy because that ad was basically it went
viral. It basically went viral. It was the equivalent of like when a social media post goes viral.
It was a bet. They took the bet,
and they hit.
Yeah,
and it became a thing. And then they were ordering when they would go to the bar and they were ordering the beer. They would whistle. Do you remember that part? They said that the people were ordering the beers by whistling to by
whistling.
Yeah.
the same whistle that they heard in the radio commercial because it was a radio commercial. So basically, these types of ideas are they're tough to present. Like they're tough to sell. They're gonna be tough to sell to your like if you have partners, if you have like a financial department, you need to approve your ads before whatever. They're gonna be hard to sell. You need courage for these ideas to happen. You can't just be out there and be creative and think it's just gonna be easy because you're being creative and you're being hard. You're being bold. Being bold means like you're gonna have to stick by your ideas. That's the hard part. These ideas, they don't look like yesterday's ideas. They don't resemble something that people did before, and people are not there. It's an uneasy choice. People are
yes, people take usually the path of least resistance, and sometimes it's hard. I get what you're saying. It's hard to just be bold. It's like you're getting like secondhand like cringiness, genre. Like I don't know if you know what I'm trying to say. Like, anyways, you said it best. Like you need to create a culture of like unorthodox thinking. You need to have that culture. You need to be different. Otherwise, you're just gonna like. And if you really think about it, well, like who cares what people. Like, who cares what people think? Like, it always comes back to that. It's like you miss out on a lot when you try to you try so hard to please everyone. What's that quote that I heard the other day? It's better to be a voice for some, or you're gonna be a voice for no one. Where did I hear that quote already? But yeah, that's pretty much how it is. Like you can't just be something for everybody. There's always going to be some people that are going to disagree and that are not going to like it, that are not going to like your product, whatever. It's fine. It's not for them. We talk about that all the time when we're selling cleaning, when we're selling the cleaning, the commercial cleaning contracts, and we say like, dude, those guys think our price is too expensive. Well, those are not our clients. No problem. Salut, bonsoir. We're like, our brand is like a professional, clean, and reliable, and all those things. And people are just looking. The ones who are just looking, je veux un prix. Je cherche un prix. I just want a price. No problem. We're not going to try to sell to those people. You know what I mean? What do you mean? What do you mean by that, Gianfrancesco? What do you mean? Just like Musk? Sorry, I didn't understand which.
Yeah, you just said that while you were talking about. being
Like
count.
Musk, that's
Yeah,
like Musk doesn't give a
yeah,
shit about. Okay, I
yeah,
got it.
yeah. He
Yeah,
doesn't like
100%. He really doesn't. He really
he
doesn't give a
doesn't
shit.
care.
He
But
doesn't care.
look where it got him, bro. Like it's crazy. He's one of the most like valuable person on the planet. It's just crazy, bro. And he's pretty much like, I don't want to talk about him all the time because I'm just gonna sound like a fanboy here. But he's pretty much like the definition of what we're talking about here. Counterintuitive. Like it's pretty much the definition of what we should be talking about
About
most
being
of our
bold, about pushing the
generation.
boundaries, about
Yes.
not giving a fuck what anybody says, about like
Yes.
about
Yes.
taking
Yes.
risks, about
It's like it's hard to do. You need courage to do that, guys.
for
Like,
me, it's hard for me to see like, okay, this is, I don't know if since we're talking about Musk, yeah, he is the disruptor. Like for me, I can't comprehend that there's a lot of people right now that dislike this man. I can't this is the guy that we're going to be talking about in the next, well, our kids or grandchildren are going to be talking about, like the same way we talk about Albert Einstein. Like
it's so true. Yeah. Back in the days, bro, like people thought he was crazy. For the most part, he died, and most people thought he was crazy. And now, like everything like comes together, and people are like, "Hey, this guy was a, this guy was an alien or what?" Like people are thinking, like, "Hey, how is that possible?" So, like when you say creating a culture, that means what? That means the most crazy solutions might be the stepping stone to bigger thoughts. They might be something that you need for your brand to pick up and really explode. Um, you need to allow that in your organization, even if you have 2 employees. I feel like at, and we're talking like here in this podcast, we're talking bootstrapping. We're talking about people who are starting. I love talking to CEOs and people who are already making it. I love that, guys. I love you guys. I kiss you. But this is not for you. This is for the people who are starting up. I was that guy, and I love this subject because I'm passionate about it. Like when you're starting up, you don't want to miss out on any dollar, and you don't want to miss out on any idea that might help you leap forward like giant steps. One of the thing that you could do that costs nothing is allow your little employee, your small guy, your 16-year-old, your the guy starting, his view should be important and should be put like not necessarily on a plateau, but at
it should
least
be considered. It should be
it
considered.
should. Yes. You need a system.
Upper for sure. Upper management should have a system to always collect
Yes.
that information as you go. Otherwise, there's just going to be
Yeah.
problems, and they're not going to know about it. And it's not good to be that kind of management style where it's like, oh, we're up here, we know what's best for you. Like, no, those never last.
Not only that, but you're missing out, especially in these times and days where 16 years old are more like, these kids. I hire like young guys in the summertime. We're window cleaning company. So I have 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds. They see things differently. They see my operations sometimes as dinosaur like. And I'm like, I'm 34 years old. I'm like, no, I'm the new kid on the block. And these kids, they're like, hey, bro, ben non, tu peux être plus efficace encore. You could be even more up. You need to let these guys talk, man. Like, they have something very interesting to say about your business. It's amazing
because they're on the field. You have to listen to the people on the field. You have to. But you still have to take everything with a grain of salt, right? Like you have to consider them, and you have to look like, is there room to improve? Yes, okay. And then why not just try it? Okay, the 16-year-old Tommy says that I should do this technique for window cleaning. Why not try it? The first of all, you're gonna have a chance to have a more efficient way of cleaning the windows, and little Johnny or little Tommy is gonna feel valued, like you took his advice.
I think it's all about it's all about setting up like the framework of how you want things to be done, and from there you let creativity do its work. You let these guys suggest, you let these guys talk, you allow a system. Of course, you're not going to action upon it right away. Like, hey, Tommy says something, let's do it right away. But you
No.
allow Tommy to have a system where he's able to give his suggestion and follow up on him. Hey, Tommy, you entered that in the system. What did you mean by that? What happened? Like, what happened on the fields for you to like actually go out of your way, enter in the FSM system? At Kevin, I have a system where they could at us, they finish a job, they could at, and do comments. Boom, 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 boom. Something happened. Hey, what happened? You call him back. You don't have to be there. So create systems for your employees to be the disruptors of your business. The next chapter of your business should come from down to up, not the opposite. These ideas, and we're getting off topic, I feel, but still, your marketing strategies could also come from down to up. These guys are on the field. They should be able to give you ideas about, hey, listen, I spoke to that client. He told me that in this sector around, there's nobody. There's nobody to clean the windows. They're looking for people because there's nobody for commercial. Okay, so now you know where to direct your cold call operations. And you tell your guy, call this place, blah, blah. But if you have no system for that, this guy is just going to pick up that information, keep it at worst for himself. At best, he's going to put it somewhere.
So you should have a system. Again, you should have a system. And when you work in big companies, like when I used to work at the bank, we had sort of like surveys to fill out. It was like a mandatory survey, no matter where you work, no matter you were a teller, you were a financial advisor, whatever position you were working, they asked you questions. How can we improve? How can we this? How can we that? I never thought about it much back then. Like, well, how much are they going to use my, But like, I'm sure there's somebody at the top that's looking at that, because for sure, like, it happened too many times that the people at the top just got too like, oh, I mean, I know everything, and I know what's best for the organization, and we have the best this, that. I don't need to listen to anybody. So for sure, they have like systems in place for that. And we always talk about systems, and that's a system to have, for sure.
The what if scenario system. What if you need a what if scenario available to your team, instead of just like a system that gathers data and we're invoicing this, therefore we're doing that. It takes a year to change something in your menu. If you need to change your menu, if you need to stay competitive, if you need to make changes in your product line, and you have them from like, I know for some people they would just be like, hey, je peux pas juste, Félix, je peux pas juste changer mon product line just like that. I just can't like, but for some others, especially for startups, they need to be able to switch that because they're still learning. They're still on a learning curve. So that's when you need to have that information. You need to pick up that information from your team really fast. You need those systems now. And to be honest, I realized that later on, you want those systems to scale as you scale. So older models, this is where it gets interesting. Older companies, bigger companies, they need to adapt. They used to not be able to gather most of the data that we're able to gather now in 2024. These companies, they need to adapt their system. It costs them a lot of money to be able to like go downward from up, like I'm telling you. It's a big step for companies to like figure that out. How are we going to be able to do that, like all that information. Amazon is a very good example. Amazon, they built that from the ground up, but it costs them billions. Tu comprends? Les warehouses d'Amazon, c'est les warehouses les plus connectés au monde. But why? Because they need information on how you're consuming their goods as you buy them.
I just thought of another example from the book that we read. you remember the part in the book where he says that Walmart tried to compete with Amazon, and
Yeah, delivery
what was that program that they tried to implement? That program
with clients.
that their clients would bring a package. Like they sign up to be an official delivery person for Walmart,
Mhm.
and they sign up, they check, okay, like which packages are for people that live in my area, and then when they're at Walmart, they just take it on the way home.
Yeah.
They take the package on the way home. So this does two things. Again, we talk about doing two things. So it's bringing shoppers to their store to buy shit, and then hey, bring these packages to my cousin. It's how crazy is that? I don't know if it worked though. I don't know if it worked, but fucking genius thinking, man. And the thing that Volvo did something in Sweden. Volvo in Sweden, they were delivering packages in people's cars.
Yes. Also, that was
How
interesting
did-
because
how did
people
they- how did they open people's cars? Was it like a
with
smart?
a unique key that the Amazon driver would get, so he would enter
Where
press
would
on
they
it.
leave that key? That's interesting.
He would get it. He would get it on his phone. I actually have that on my smart locks here. I could actually
Mhm.
unlock, giving someone on their smartphone a special pass, and they could, with their NFC thing, they could unlock here.
I should
So
get
it's
that
a
for my apartment.
unique thing. Yeah, it's very interesting. So it was a way for Volvo to market a new service or perk to their customer, and they were also fixing like something for they were fixing some type of problem for their customer who were looking for extra safety. And Volvo is all about extra safety and extra
Mhm.
safe lifestyle, right? So it was all about pushing even more the brand's objective of keeping their clients safe and secure. They know that people buying Volvos are like security looking people. They're extra, not insecure, but if you buy Volvo, let's be real, the brand, and like
Is safety. It's crazy how like
it's all about safety.
the deeper we go in this rabbit hole of marketing, the more you realize that companies are like they have their own unique brand. And it's like Volvo, the first thing you think of is safety. You just said
Mhm.
safety. The first thing that when I said Volvo was safety.
Mhm.
And the same thing when you think Walmart, when you think Amazon, when you think you right away you associate like this is what they are, plain and simple. This is whether you're their customer or not.
Yeah, and their
And I just
marketing
find that
department is working only on that, on making
exactly.
you, the consumer, think that.
Yeah, but like now when you go to cars, like Volvos make beautiful cars.
Yeah. They're
Beautiful
amazing.
cars.
Ils sont vraiment beaux, bro.
Like
Ils sont chers aussi.
now it's so shy. It's not shy. They
Ils sont
are.
chers.
But you can't put a price on safety, right?
So
Um,
if just so we wrap this up, because I have a few points here that I wanted to talk about before we wrap it up. It's already been 43 minutes, bro. Ça va tellement vite.
Love
Colin,
it,
Evan,
love
on n'a
it.
jamais le temps de tout dire ce qu'on veut dire. But you really need to cut through. Like this chapter was all about making you realize that a counterintuitive idea is counter to one's normal instinct. So of course, your mind is just going to be thinking, hey, that's not the way to go. That's not where I should put my money, because all the other guys are spending their money that way. Making dealership, hey, le discount pour le Dodge Caravan, Dodge Caravan, 9,999 $. It's always this, we're being like so drilled with these commercials that we think they are the way to go. But if you have no budget, especially if you have no budget, you need your way in. You need to get inside you need to get inside. You need attention. And
like
that's all that counts.
there's this dilemma. There's this dilemma that it's like it's not a dilemma, but it's like a balance with like don't if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But it's like be different. Like you know what I'm trying to say? Like there's some things that people just do it because it works. For example, social media Like, it's just a strategy that every company needs to do, right? It's not like you wouldn't say like, oh, every other company's on social media, so I'm gonna do something different. Like, there's certain things, right, that just apply to all.
But how could you do social media different?
Right.
That's one thing, you know? Like people are doing social media right, but how could you do social media differently so it doesn't cost you as much as the other ones are cost? Because you know how like spending ads works. It costs either per clicks or cost per print. How could you optimize that cost per print, cost per click is the real nerve of the game. And getting people to really hook that are actually qualified to buy. So that's another it's another variable that you need to like take into consideration when you're marketing something to people. Conversion is all, it's all about converting and really hooking people.
You see those drop shipping advertisements all day when you're on Instagram. Some of them have the exact same ad as different companies. I don't know if you
Hmm.
noticed that. That's because there are companies that sell ads, that sell, like, you pay like $60, $50, and they give you an ad, and it's exactly the same as the next person. So it's like, although, like, okay, every company needs to use social media. How can I make the ad different? Can I change the first 3 second hook? How can I stand out? Right? It's always about standing out and being different and fucking thinking outside the box and doing some crazy shit. And that story you said at the beginning about the chickens, about painting the chickens, that's a research play. That's research. That people did research. I said, okay,
Hmm.
hawks are eating my chicken. How can I, bro? I'm fucking mind blown by that. How did you come up with that? Those are some really smart people. Okay,
And you need
eagles.
courage to implement that also. You can't just like be like, yes, I'm just gonna paint my chickens purple. I could just only imagine the farmer be like, what? You're not gonna paint my
Right.
chicken? What are you talking about? Paint my chicken purple? That's just funny, But it worked. 80% of the chickens survived because of that, because the eagles couldn't see them. So in the sameness, like in a sea of sameness, like if you put your money in same stuff, your results are just going to be incremental at best. You're just going to
Hmm.
do as good as the other ad that is doing as like the same thing as you do.
Yep.
The only way to know if you could do better is by doing something else very different. Like try
Mhm.
something fucking different. Great marketing is about taking leaps. So it's about taking like giant,
Right.
crazy, like crazy steps. It might be crazy. It might sound crazy at the table. You might have a good, worst comes to worst, you're just gonna have a good laugh. Just let crazy happen in your business, in your structure, in your system. If you don't let crazy have a little crazy in your, and you're always like looking down on people who are just having fun and be like, hey, this is work, this is business here. We're trying to have like some real marketing thing going on. If you're out there saying people, this is how it works around here, this is the killer phrase for marketing. Killer.
Yuck.
You're killing your team if you're out there saying things. Hey, this. Let me tell you how it works around here. Like, what are you saying? Like, you need people to just have their own energy and their own vibe. Tint your strategies because that's what you hired them for. Or else do it yourself if you think you're so good. Like,
Hmm.
help yourself by helping your team tint your activities. um so yeah, so let's end on this, George, because I need to go.
Hmm.
It's been
Yes,
like
sir.
almost an hour. We went off the edge again, but it's for the benefit of everyone, I hope.
Yeah, we
um
had quite a few viewers today. If you guys are still there, I just want to
it
put
was
it out
amazing.
there.
C'était vraiment cool, ouais.
Yeah, obviously, thanks for you guys. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. If you guys could go on our Facebook page and our YouTube page to subscribe and like to our YouTube, that really helps us out a lot. I have the banner over here, And yeah, I wish you guys an amazing day. And Phil, I'll see you tomorrow.
Last word. Let your intuition take the lead. Most corp, they don't do that. I had to say that, bro, parce que c'est vrai. La plupart des grosses corporations, there's so many, like, if you're a small guy, if you're small org trying to bootstrap your marketing right now, and you don't know where to start, and you listen to this podcast, and you're actually looking for a next actionable piece of where to start with your intuition, because that's a good clue. That's one of your best clues of where to start with your marketing. If you don't know where to start, just listen to your gut, man. Listening to your gut, it will probably, most definitely, be more creative than your next competitor if you listen to your gut. Let's be real.
Because your competitor is most likely just doing the same thing as the next guy. That's why just having that one good idea just puts you apart like crazy. Because most people are not doing that. Most businesses are not doing that. Let's be honest. Most are not. I don't know what the percentage is, but
I would say the bigger the budget for marketing, the less intuition involved. So by intuition, I mean your gut feeling, what it tells you firsthand. Moi, je pense qu'on devrait faire ça, man. That would work. So what if
gut feeling?
What if it works? You need to play the what if game up until you find the most craziest, like the craziest idea, and it sets up your game for your. If you set up your game based on the craziest idea in the room, and from there you work, I feel like you're gonna be onto something. Let's keep it at that for today. And if you guys have questions, please comment. Please let us know. We want to talk more about marketing with you guys. We're having fun doing it only by ourselves because we're like that. But it's even funnier quand on a des gens, when we have people asking us questions and actually engaging with us. So fait que c'est ça, man. On se voit demain pour un. What is it tomorrow? It's
Getting Tuesday done tomorrow. Tomorrow's getting
GTD. GTD Tuesday. All right, guys.
I'm gonna rip that chapter, bro, and we're gonna be ready for tomorrow.
Thank you, Elvan. Ça c'est gentil. See you tomorrow, guys.
Ciao, ciao.